We are not alone in this universe. So what I'm going to say from the outset is this is not a clickbait video. And I can't even believe I'm going to say this, but on Tuesday, 12th of September, a Senate hearing in Mexico, lawmakers were shown two shriveled bodies with shrunken heads alongside video footage of unexplained, anonymous phenomenon. Jamie Mussan, the UFO enthusiast and sports journalist, advises the remains are more than 1,000 years old, and this belongs to non human beings and are part of our terrestrial evolution. He states that this is the queen of all evidence. The DNA is showing us that this is non human beings, and there is nothing that looks more like this in the world, and we should take it as such. These are not mummies, he states. These are complete bodies and have not been manipulated. Before we debunk this, let's actually see what the Mexican government have released. As you can see some of the pictures here, initially the head looks like an average grey alien dude and it is very similar to any Spielberg movie, so with aliens in. So it's got a tiny mouth and a very large head. So they're probably eating something like Tic Tacs just to feed their ginormous brain, which makes no sense first of all, but no worries, let's take our time. So they then release body images. So straight off the bat, you can see in the middle, it's more of like a slinky type structure, which is a bit crazy. So they've got, they've got like a slinky to protect their organs. Also, there's minimal skeletal structure. So their bones are really thin and also really long, but they have 3 fingers and 3 toes, which is crazy as it is anyway. So I go back to it. This is wild. I can't even believe I'm making this videos. If we go back to the organs, what we can see, it looks like a python that has taken home with its intestine and it's laid 3 white eggs to hatch after winter. So the initial observation, so they're 1,000 years ago, right? These were found 1,000 years ago and they've come to light. How are the organs still managed to last? And if humans did perish? Well, wait, need to remind myself, these aren't human. So many social media quickly, ridiculed the presentation, stating that the Mexican president's efforts just looking in towards of alleged aliens is just like a mockery. In the US, most UFO documentation is classified, but in Mexico, it's pretty clear they're not holding back. So they're going for it. And they want to be the first in the world to say that aliens live on this planet with official evidence. So the president, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, I hope I got that right, probably not, has a reputation for eccentricity. I definitely didn't know that word earlier this year, and he claimed that he had a photo evidence of more like an elf-like structure, which set the internet alight. He said everything is mystical, and some of what he even shared a photo of the picture online, creating like a creature with glowing eyes and with piercing eyes, which were looking through the trees. And he said it was an Alex, and it was a mischievous being that lived in Maya law. So very mystical. The US officials though have recently taken investigations into UFOs. They're taking it really seriously. And an office in the Pentagon have established in 2022. So they're looking at reports for unidentified objects, determined whether they're remarkable things, but what they've come back, they've found they're more like drones or balloons or even plastic bags. So the office has not found sign of any form of alien life. But they were pressed by a bipartisan group of lawmakers and said the evidence remains more like older UFO sightings, so they're going to start looking into that. So we'll see with that. But as you know, if one person comes out, the next person will come out straight up. So let's go and check out Mawson's history and let's see what he's about. So he worked as a journalist for over 50 years. He had a 2017 video report which he participated in, which showed like alleged non-human remains as well. That was later debunked as like mummified children corpse. And this was published at Gaia.com. This is a website that charged like $99 a year for videos of like paranormal and supernatural subjects, like including alien abductions. In 2010, he hosted a TV show, and in 2019, he was subject of like a movie titled His UFO Files. It was like a 1 hour documentary film that covered like the pursuit of the most like controversial UFO events, like in Mexican history. He's also got a YouTube channel, so he's nearly got 1 million subscribers, so smashing it. Well done to you, man. You're smashing it. But in July, just to mention as well, so former intelligence officials David Grush and Graves testified before Congress in like a hero of UFOs. That Grush said that under oath he was absolutely certain the federal government was in possession of unidentified aerial phenomenon. Obviously, this isn't aerial, but the former intelligence official claimed that the interviews investigated like UAP crashes and recovered non-human biologics. So we'll see. So straight off of the bunk, let's see if we can debunk this. Like, I know that's the worst thing to do, but let's just see if we can. Have we actually seen aliens for the first time, or have we just seen an offset of Steven Spielberg's movies? So apparently these aren't the first time they've been seen. These have been seen back in 2021. So the YouTube channel Science Against Myths created a video stating these are not aliens. And 2 years ago, they have images which have surfaced. And I think if we actually compare them both, they look very similar. But let's see what they say.
Now let's study the X-rays of the small mummies. Ufologists go as far as calling them humanoid reptiles. So what do we see? Same stuff. A hodgepodge of human and animal bones. Here's a mummy named Josephine. A real beauty.
So as you can see, the images that we're seeing in the video were that shared with the Mexican government. So we would have to assume these are the same aliens. But he goes on to say something else. Let's have a look.
Beauty. Instead of humeri, she sports femurs or thigh bones. Her legs are even more baffling. One of the thigh bones is actually a femur, only facing the wrong way around, while the other one is a tibia. And they are completely mismatched. With the hip bone, there's no joint there at all. The poor humanoid wouldn't have made a single step. Some of the bones are simply chopped off.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Why on earth does this alien, who would one assume is majorly advanced in our species, why does it still have the same bone structure as a human? What are the odds of evolution? What are the odds of having the same bones and similar structure to that of what we had? Now, you can say I'm just being a pessimist, and this guy debunks the bone theory, saying they wouldn't even be able to walk. But that does feel pretty strong for me, right? So on reflection on both sets of images and the video that once was shared on Tuesday, the ones that were created like 2 years ago, you can have to say they're going to be the same alien, right? So the video shows the same pictures, the Mexican government shows the same one. They've got to be the same alien. In this case, I feel like we fell down the rabbit hole a little bit. But if we've learned anything from the 1980s movies that we love and that we watch, there should always be a happy ending. Now, I'm going to wait and see how this one pans out. Before going into full much detail, let's let the dust settle over the next couple of days and see what arises. He has said that any scientist in the world can come and inspect them and review them. So we'll see the feedback of that. And it'd be good to see the compelling different feedback from both. So we'll see what happens in the developments on that. Before I go, I have recently launched a podcast on Spotify, so you've got the link in the description. So we can be talking to like streamers and gamers, anyone really like a passion for success. So if you want to, you're into that sort of thing, you like it, go and check it out. It's going to be live on YouTube as well, which will be coming in the next couple of days. But if not, absolutely no worries. Have a good day, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.